Hey guys, so today is going to be a quick demo slash review of the new Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. This has actually been out for a little while. I had it in a haul a little while back and I promised you guys that I would do a review on it for you guys. I've been using it for a while now. I'll get into a little bit more detail in just a little bit, but I did want to go ahead and do this for you guys. I'm fresh faced and I wanted to do it in natural light so you guys could see what kind of coverage it actually gave me. So before I go into the demo, just a quick rundown of the foundation. I believe it was $40. I'll put the exact price somewhere down here so that you guys can see it. I'll also link it on the Sephora website or the Ulta website or even Urban Decay website down below if you're interested in it. I think it was $40. I got mine at Sephora. There's a wide variety of shades. The shades are a little bit different. Mine is in shade 4.0. This is what the packaging the outside packaging looks like, and then like I said, the shade of mine is shade 4.0, which they come in half. So I think they start at like a 2.0, maybe a 3.0, and then they go to 3.5, 4, and then a 4.5, 5. So it's kind of weird. It's different than most things that I've seen before. The actual packaging outside of it is very sleek. I love the purple chrome. Urban Decay is known for this chrome color on a lot of their packaging. This is what you actually get, 1 fluid ounce, so this is what the actual packaging looks like. Although the color variation is very vast, you do have to be careful with the actual bottle that you're looking at, because if you would hold this next to my skin tone, it doesn't look like it would work at all. It looks entirely too dark. But when I got color matched, I was thinking I'd be a 4.0, and the sales associate actually matched me to the 4.0, and he said that a lot of times people are getting lighter shades and then they take it home and they've had to return it because the bottles are very deceiving. They come out a lot lighter than it shows in here. So this foundation is a water-based foundation, so you really have to shake it up so that the foundation can mix all together, especially if you leave it, like me personally, I've had it in the box for weeks, so it's really not that exposed to light, but it can oxidize pretty quickly if you leave it out too much. So I just give it a really good shake. As far as ways to apply it, I've tried 3 different ways. My tried and true, I always go through these 3 different ways with my F80 from Sigma, which is just a flat top synthetic kabuki. I also tried it with the dual fiber F50, which is just any standard dual fiber brush would work fine. And then I've also used my beauty blender. So out of the 3, and I also did try it with my fingers. Out of the 4, actually, I should say, I prefer it with the beauty blender overall. However, the beauty blender is a little bit pricey if you don't have the extra funds to splurge on the beauty blender as well as the foundation. I would say your fingers are going to work really, really well for this. The F80, because it's a water-based foundation, I felt like the F80 soaked in a little bit too much of the foundation. And I don't know, it's for as expensive as it is, I don't feel like the brush should be soaking any of it up. And then with this, it does give you an airbrush finish. However, because it's a thinner foundation, it left a lot of streaks and it was really hard to blend out. So I would not recommend it with the dual fiber brush. I would say that your fingers, again, are the next best thing. And the way that I like to apply it is just by pressing it in my skin, kind of dabbing it around and then just pressing it in. And then if you do have like a brush, even a powder brush like this afterwards, just with a little bit of setting powder and kind of go over it like that, it kind of evens everything out and it's flawless. But I do have to say that the beauty blender is by far my favorite way to do it, mainly because I don't like getting my fingers dirty. It's a little bit harder for me to stomach that. So what I do is I take my beauty blender, which is dirty, I need to clean it, excuse that, and I take my e.l.f. makeup mist and set. I mentioned this to you guys in one of my my last favorite video. The fact that I've been loving squirting this on my beauty blender instead of using it as a makeup setting spray and just making my beauty blender damp with this. I feel like it works really, really good. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in just a little bit so that you could see a little bit closer up. You could see like the redness that I have. Well, I don't know how well it's going to translate on camera. By the way, excuse my eyebrows. I'm letting them grow out so that I could get them reshaped. So pardon those, but I don't know if you could see like the redness that I have right here from the cystic acne that left little scarring, and then I have some right here also. You guys may think that my skin is flawless, or it may come across like that on camera, but really I've been having some super horrible bad acne days. I'm not sure. I'm going on 26 years old. They should be controlled by now. So I have the Beauty Blender pretty much, it's kind of misshapen, but it's pretty much damp enough to go ahead and use a foundation with it. Like I said, you do need to shake it up. I find that depending on how much coverage you want, usually one pump is good. You do have to look at the foundation though, how runny it is. You can see that there it's running all the way down my hand. So it's very light, thin foundation, so you want to work quickly so that it doesn't, your product isn't soaked up by whatever you're using. So I'm just going to get that on my Beauty Blender, and what I like to do is start with my forehead, because I always feel like that is usually what needs the most coverage there, and like in the middle of my face. So as you can see, the foundation's going on. It is a little bit on the yellow side for me, but it actually was the more neutral of all the colors. The next one up was a little bit more yellow tone than this, and the next one down was a little too pink. So this one was very neutral considering. Okay, so I have that on a little bit on this side of the face. I usually go over it a couple times, especially with the very damp sponge, because it can, again, kind of give you that glowy finish, which I'm not too fond of. I have super oily skin, so I really enjoy the matte finish, so I do go over it a couple of times. But you can just see there the coverage is, I'd say, a light to medium. I would not consider this a full coverage, and I think this is simply because of the type of how liquidy the foundation is. Okay, so I have on about, I'd say 3 pumps or so. Actually, it's a little bit more than I'm used to putting on, but I definitely wanted to show you guys what kind of buildable coverage it could have. So as you could see, when I was first applying the foundation, it was a little yellow for my skin, but as you can see now, as it's kind of set in literally just a minute, it matches my skin tone very nicely. I still have a tan going on my chest, so it's not, it doesn't match my whole chest, or my chest as a whole, but it does match my neck area, which is the main thing that you want. So hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know if you could tell where my acne scarring is right here, but it definitely covered it up. The foundation does not feel heavy on my skin at all. You guys know that I have super intensely oily skin, and I don't feel like it left my skin dewy or anything. It feels very nice and matte, and I feel like it gave me such a flawless finish overall. And if I'm looking at my skin in the mirror, it just looks like my skin, but more enhanced. Like, it doesn't look like I'm wearing a super heavy foundation. It matches my skin tone really nicely, and that's why I just really feel like the Beauty Blender gives it overall justice. I mean, I feel like none of the other products give it justice like the Beauty Blender. So yeah, I hope that this video helped you guys. Just to recap a little bit, I really think that this foundation is an overall wonderful foundation for a flawless, natural look. Again, I don't feel like it's too heavy or too cakey for an everyday type wear. As far as oily skin, you guys know that I have super oily skin. As far as wearing on there, when I first got it, because of the consistency, I was really weary about it being good for oily skin, but it turned out to be fantastic. I haven't had any problems. I wouldn't say that it lasts the entire day without getting oily, but it does last me a good majority of the day. And here in San Antonio, we have the most humid weather ever. Don't move here. Don't ever move here. But our weather just sucks. The humidity is intense, and with my oily skin, it just like sucks it up. I mean, my skin gets oily like that. And I feel like this does keep it, it doesn't keep it at bay as much as my Revlon Color Stay or the whipped cream from Revlon, but it does keep it at bay enough to where it lasts me the majority of the day. And by the end of the day, I don't look like a, you know, greasy mess. I look more like I have a dewy foundation going on. And I have to say, I don't feel like it oxidizes much with your skin throughout the day. Even though I have oily skin, I feel like it lasts amazingly well. So I hope that this review helped you guys. I know a ton of you were asking me for a review / demo of it. I really like this foundation. Like I said, I feel like I could highly recommend it to any of you guys, especially if you have oily skin. I feel like if you have dry skin, if you're not using it with the Beauty Blender with like a moist substance to it, I feel like it may accentuate dry spots. I noticed that with the F80 that it kind of accentuated some dry spots, but definitely would recommend it overall. If you guys own this foundation and you love it too, let me know what you think down below. Or if you don't like it, let me know why you don't like it. So I'm really happy that I picked it up, and I'm happy that I could share this with you guys. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, don't forget to leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!